Hey, it's time for another
Everyday getaway.
and it's another travel day.
And here we are. We are at the airport in Nashville, and we are headed to Atlanta and then to Bozeman, Montana.
Snowy Bozeman.
There we go. We're going to visit some family for Christmas, and we're going to take you along on our travel day. So come on along. Here we go. We started off with a very early morning flight out of Nashville. The airport, it was right the week before Christmas, so the airport was fairly busy, but we did get Chick-fil-A for breakfast. And hey, anytime you have a good old Chick-fil-A biscuit before you travel, that's always a great way to start the day. By the way, the Nashville airport does have a voodoo donut, and we had just had Chick-fil-A, so we didn't grab one, but man, the case was full of delicious looking donuts. We took off, headed to Atlanta, left a little bit late just because of some weather issues, but because we were flying on Christmas, Die Hard was the movie we picked. It is a Christmas movie, right? Actually, Doug and I went to see Die Hard on our very first date many, many years ago. A little bit bumpy here and there for that flight, but we landed safely and headed off on our second flight, which took us from Atlanta all the way over to Bozeman, Montana. And the flight was about 3.5 hours, but it is such a beautiful flight. The scenes outside of your window on the way to Bozeman, gorgeous.
Hey, welcome to Montana.
This airport in Bozeman is beautiful. We just came through, getting ready to go down and get our luggage, and we've got this beautiful fireplace going, and it is beautiful outside. They're Merry Christmas geese. They have on Santa hats. Ho, ho, ho.
We rented a Jeep Grand Cherokee at the airport from National Car Rentals, and being a part of the Emerald Isle, you were able to just walk through and pick up whatever car you would like that they had. And we ended up liking this car a lot. It was a hybrid car, had really good gas mileage, and did us well.
The first leg of our trip took us from Bozeman, Montana, up to Helena, Montana. Bozeman sits surrounded by the Rocky Mountains, and man, with those snow-capped Rocky Mountains kind of covering the outside edge, it started off our drive for such a gorgeous trip. The topography does change fairly quickly, so that we move from that into getting a chance to see those gorgeous big skies. Montana is known as the Big Sky Country, and some of the next video that we have, you'll just see as we drive those wide open spaces with not a lot of trees, but just absolutely beautiful landscapes and those huge big skies. And then off in the distance again, you'll see some more mountains.
Here, we just passed a sign saying that we're almost at Three Forks, Montana. This is known as the birthplace of the Missouri River. You'll also notice on that sign it did say Butte, Montana was about 80 miles away. We're not going to Butte, Montana, but Butte, Montana is very famous for Evel Knievel used to live there. While we were traveling, we were a little bit concerned about the weather, not wanting to run into any snowstorms. But as you can see, we had pretty good weather. We're going to get into some of those mountains in a little bit and a lot on our way to Great Falls and Lewistown. But in this area, it's pretty flat, but still just as beautiful.
Helena, Montana is the capital of Montana, so here's a look at the Capitol building. We did go out to dinner at Sud's Hut, which is known for its roasted chicken, and had a great dinner visiting with family. It's day 2 of our travel. We have left Helena, Montana. We're headed to Lewistown, Montana by way of Great Falls. Lewistown is northeast of Helena, and it snowed a little bit overnight, but the roads are not bad, at least the interstate we're on, but it is very foggy. I'm sure it looks blurry for you on the screen. That is just fog that has settled in. So we've got good visibility up close, but we can't see the mountains in the distance, and hopefully this will burn off and lift soon.
Okay, so we started off today with a little snow action, as you can see. It was a nice cool morning. We said earlier there was a little bit of fog, and it has lifted for the most part, a little bit every once in a while, but it's still pretty good. So we're going to spend the day driving. We'll hit some mountains pretty soon. We're going to be looking for some wildlife. Tammy really wants to see some wildlife, so hopefully we'll see some wildlife off on the side. I will say that this is a gorgeous drive from Helena to Great Falls. As you can see here, all the trees are nice and covered. If you ever have the opportunity to drive through here, please make sure that you do it. You will not be disappointed. Look at that sky.
Doug mentioned I was on the hunt for some wildlife. This next portion of our trip will take us through some of these beautiful places where we've got rivers with great places for animals to come and get a drink. We've got mountains that we're going to go through. So I'm looking forward to in the next hour or so seeing some deer, antelope. When we go through the mountains, I want to see a mountain goat. The last time that we saw one, it was really high up on the side of the mountain when we were here. So I would love to see that again, maybe a bald eagle. But um, there are so many beautiful animals that you can see in their natural habitat. I'm hoping today we get a glimpse of something.
As we are driving today, we're following along the Missouri River. We're still not too far from Helena. This is where the Lewis and Clark expedition traveled along the Missouri River many years ago. Lewis wrote, in many ways, that the rock seemed ready to tumble right upon us. At each bend in the waterway, great stone walls seemed to block passage, only to open like giant gates as the expedition drew near. You can also go and visit it. I've been there once before. Tammy would really like to go visit. The opening day is May the 24th, 2025, and tickets started going on sale on January the 1st, 2025. This is another place I would highly recommend to visit.
Traveling along, we went past places where we had snow and these beautiful mountain tops. Such a beautiful part of the trip. If you notice these fences here on the side, those are to hold back the snow and keep it from blowing across the highway when snowstorms get bad. I love driving through these mountains with the snow kind of blanketing the ground, those tall evergreen trees kind of dotting the top of the cliffs and the rock formations. And this is where we had seen the mountain goat the last time we were here, but he was really high up. This go around, we spotted a bighorn sheep right on the side of the road. Bighorn sheep are North America's largest wild sheep, and boom, look at those big horns. They're used to protect themselves. He's so adorable. Love it.
In the next few minutes, we're just going to let you enjoy the scenery as we drive along. Hope you really enjoy it, and notice how quickly the scenery changes.
Well, here we are in Lewistown, Montana, which is the next stop on our journey. It took us about 3 hours to get here from Helena this morning. The weather has changed off and on, as you've seen. The topography changes, and it is such a beautiful drive. But here we are in Lewistown. We got some snow and a little bit of fog set back in. This is probably the most snow on the roads that we've had today, thank goodness. But we are going to get into town here, meet up with our family, and enjoy spending some time with them. Get a chance to meet our new great niece and just celebrate the holidays a little bit.
Well, this is our last day of our road trip across Montana. We're headed from Lewistown, Montana to Bozeman, Montana to catch a flight for later this evening. You can see that we had a wonderful, beautiful sunrise. We hope that you really enjoy it. I'll just let you take a little bit of the scenery in.
We were concerned about traveling in the winter, and we've had great traveling conditions. Everything's been beautiful. But Doug's sister did send us a picture. This is a couple weeks after we left, and this is the snow in the front yard. So we're really thankful for the traveling conditions that we had. So in Montana, you will pass by these small little towns just on the side of the road. You can see that open space in the background. And then once you pass by these little towns, you get right back out into those big skies and wide open spaces.
One of the real interesting things we saw today is when we were driving through the windmill farms, and these windmills are huge.
This cute little town is Judith Gap. Judith Gap has a population of 110 according to the 2020 census. And it is situated in the historic Judith Gap, which is a gap between the towering mountain ranges of the Big Snowy Mountains and the Little Belt Mountains. And it kind of separates central Montana from southern Montana. And this gap has been used by settlers and Native Americans for centuries, including Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce during their flight to Canada in 1877. I feel like every time we have gone a little bit further today, we have just seen something else that is absolutely stunning. The weather traveling today has been so beautiful, and there's just so much to see in Montana. These beautiful plains, those gorgeous mountains. I believe this is the Yellowstone River. It meets up with the Missouri River, but I think it's still the Yellowstone. These cattle here remind me of the scripture that talks about the cows on 1,000 hills. On the right, you'll see some more of those fencing that is used to block the snow when the weather's bad, and some more views of the rivers and the mountains, and we'll just give you a couple minutes just to enjoy. And just like that, we're back in Bozeman. We returned our car. It was a breeze, and we really did enjoy the vehicle that we had gotten. The airport is a great location, and it's so easy to find. And just a quick note, a lot of people try to bring bear spray into Bozeman or into Billings, whatever the airport is, but you cannot have it. They do sell bear spray once you exit or leave um, getting off your plane so that you get downstairs, but you can't carry it with you. All right, so they're not real, but we missed the real ones, so there you go. Video proof. Oh.
Okay, so we're back at the airport, ready to head out. We had a wonderful time this week driving across Montana, seeing a lot of nice people, meeting some really nice people, getting to spend some time with family.
And absolutely gorgeous views on our trip. We hope you enjoyed driving with us. That road trip was so much fun. Even though it was split across several days, I think that actually gave us more time to really enjoy it, and hope you had a good time just relaxing and driving and seeing that beautiful scenery with us.
Hey, thanks for joining us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you can join us on our next adventure.
All right, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and let us take care of you. If you have prayer requests, drop it in the comments. We'll be happy to pray for you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bozeman. See you later.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can join us next Saturday for our next adventure.